So where was I? This is a really, gosh, if you're new here, you must be like, what is this woman? If you've got good eyes, you would see that there's this red band of color running along here. I just know, like, I've always thought live stream. No ways, that's insane. Hello, my name is Yewande. Welcome to Knitting the Blues. I want to just give a really big, warm welcome to everyone here, everyone watching. Thank you if you are a subscriber and you're kind of a regular viewer. That's wonderful. I just wanted to say thank you. If you're new and if you've subscribed in the last while, welcome. Thank you for doing that. If you just kind of happen to pop in here because the algorithm said, hey, check this out, welcome to you as well. And I hope you like what you find here and that you stick around. Yes, it feels like it's been a while since we chatted because I think the last two episodes were about recognizing and celebrating an amazing local South African knitwear designer, a fairly new designer called Eva Hancocks, and she goes by, her design name is the Crafty Geo. I hope if you didn't catch the pattern roundup I did of her incredible patterns or the interview, please go back into the archives and have a look at those two. I wanted to today talk a little bit about a few finished items that I have. I think, yeah, what do I have? I think I have 3 finished items. 2 are the same pattern, so maybe that's cheating a bit, but they're valid finished items, right? And works in progress. And then I had a small announcement for something exciting I'm planning as the year comes to an end. So yeah, settle in. Maybe you're working on something. I don't think it's going to be an incredibly long episode, although that's always the famous last words. But yes, I wanted to just connect today. So let me jump right in. And by the way, I guess in case there are a lot of new people here, I'm coming to you from Johannesburg. This video has been recorded towards the end of November and it's wet outside and the skies are quite gray. I mean, there's light coming in, but it is kind of a gray, slightly gloomy day. And I'll tell you what I'm jumping all over the place, but let me tell you what I'm wearing. I'm wearing this Wabi Sabi cardi that I made some time ago, some months ago, by Melinat, if I'm remembering the name correctly. It's wonderful. I wear this aplenty since I made it. I feel like I want to make either the same thing or a similar kind of design because it's kind of schlumphy, it's comfortable, but it has a bit of elegance to it, I like to think. I don't think it's too, I love it. And it's got these big kind of sleeves. It's got a little bit of interesting design. I talked about this in a previous episode, so I'm not going to go on about it too much, but that is what I'm wearing. I will take it off because when I now talk to you about my finished objects, I'm going to have to take it off to show you. And I'm actually going to do something to the camera. I pushed the camera a little bit back just so you could see a bit of this, and I'm actually going to raise up. Actually, let's do that. I'm going to raise up, and you can see that I finished my Vilma top by Gregoria Fibers. I loved this thing so much. I'm going to come close so you can see the beautiful pointelle pattern that is involved in this design. And then these eyelets that run down in columns. And I wonder if you could get a good look at the button. I bought shell buttons, but I didn't have the project with me and I'd already done the button band and they were way too, look at this sweet little border as well. The shell buttons were way too big. And then when I looked in my stash, I realized I had these and they were the perfect size and I thought they were actually a lovely color. And I have some like alpaca lace and I used the alpaca lace to actually do it instead of the white. And I love how it disappears. Now, if you've got good eyes, you would see that there's this red band of color running along here. It's a very painful feature of this garment. And if you watch the video, then you would know that I made a real mess up. And this project starts with a provisional cast on. And when I did the provisional cast on, I used a hand-dyed wool, you know, to do the provisional cast on, and it was red. It was red. I don't know what I was thinking. I wasn't thinking. And then that would have been fine, because I guess at the end of it, you take the provisional thing on and but I, you know, feeling very proud of myself, decided that I would have to block it mid-project because it grows. And I knitted this in Provisions Kenya Corriedale wool, which is, again, that's something I've talked about in a previous episode. Beautiful wool. And oh boy, yeah, I didn't really know what it would do. I felt like, oh, I need to understand how this is going to grow or not grow. And I knew I've got a long torso, so I knew that I would probably have to, and I was right, I had to knit quite a bit more than the pattern was asking to get the right length. And even here, you can see it's not, my belly button's over here. You know, so it's quite cropped. It's perfect. It's perfect for me. There ain't nothing wrong with it in terms of the length. But even like here, and I knitted quite a bit more. Plus, you know, the wool I was using was not, because they asked for Aron, and this is definitely not Aron. It's got bits that are worsty, Aron-y, lacy, double knitty, fingering. You know, it's that kind of spun yarn that just changes size all the time, which I find delightful. But it just meant that I wasn't confident about what it was going to do. So I very studiously decided to block it mid-project. And of course, yeah, I blocked it mid-project, and yeah, the provisional yarn, just the color ran into this beautiful yarn, and it's still there. I tried, I can't even remember the name now, so if in post, I'll put it up here. But I tried this thing. It's like a little spray thing. It's supposed to be quite gentle, but it's a bleachy type thing without the bad bleachy elements. It didn't really work. It hasn't done much to the stain. Somebody very kindly, the Woolworths that we have here in South Africa, she was saying, stocks a particular product that that she thought might help. It's again one of those non-bleach bleaches. And she said, you know, test it. And so I haven't really had the time or whatever to go and buy the product and try it, but I will. So thanks for that suggestion. And anyone else who has a suggestion, I mean, the other thing is just to dye it. But when I bought this, I was visiting in Nairobi when I found this yarn. In fact, let me just grab it. 2 seconds. I'm back. So I was visiting in Nairobi when I found this yarn. This is what I have left. So I thought, let me just grab it to show you a bit. You know, when I say that I mean, look at that. You know, I hope it gives you a sense of how it changes in quality. It's, as I say, it's just delightful. But they had lots of different, they had this kind of ecru, and then they had naturally dyed skeins as well, or cakes, with baobab, which gives you like this kind of clay, very light, gentle clay color. They had sort of, yeah, like mustardy colors, and they had a yellow. I can't remember what got the yellow. And I very consciously was like, no, I want this beautiful ecru color. And now, of course, to overcome my little mess up, I would have to dye this over. So guess what? I've been wearing it like this. I've been going out wearing it like this. I'm like, whatever, like, who cares? I mean, you know, I've been going going around to my appointments or to the shops. Obviously, I won't wear it, let's say, like a serious work meeting, or, you know, if I have to give a talk somewhere or something. I wouldn't wear it because I guess but I've been wearing it all the same just because I adore this so much, and I will make more. In fact, I'm sort of looking in my head. I've recently come into a large stash of yarn, but that's for another story. I have actually recorded how I welcomed this amazing gift into my life, and I've made a little recording of it, and I will post it. Maybe in a few weeks' time, when I go on holiday and I need a video to just keep things running here. In a few weeks' time, perhaps. But yeah, maybe from this wonderful new stash of yarn that I have been gifted, I might find something that I could make another one of these with. It's just an exquisite thing. I just think it's an exquisite thing. And it's fun making it with this kind of fuzzy wuzzy yarn because, you know, it's the pointelle is so irregular as a result. I just love that it's so irregular. And I guess this little thing over here is part of that irregularity, right? And it goes all the way to the back, in case you were wondering. Oh man, I don't want to dye it. I don't want to dye it. I want to keep it this beautiful color. I don't wear a lot of white. I don't always jam with like white or this kind of off-white crew. But I mean, it's actually, and definitely as a kind of gilet, would you call this gilet, or as a thing like this, it's nice because like I think if the whole thing was white, it's a bit much. But the fact that the blue comes through in some places and you have arms, so I'll definitely be making more of this pattern, and I will be much more careful with what I choose as my provisional cast on yarn. And you know, you live and learn, right? So that's that. Okay, so that's one of my finished objects, the Wilma top by Gregoria Fibers. I'm just beaming because I love it so much. I'm wearing this is a finished object I've already talked about here before, and this is the Poppy Tee by Petite Knit, which is another one of my favorites. And I knit this in Knock Your Socks Off Knotty Habit yarn, and it's just in my absolute favorite color. And while we're talking about knotty habits, tomorrow, so this is a bit of a chatty episode actually. Since I'm being so chatty, let me also knit while I chat to you. Why not? Let's just have it be a bit of a chatty episode. But the problem is, the way the camera is, you can't see. I'm gonna have to move the camera, which is a headache. Okay, 2 seconds. Okay, how's that? I hope this works out. Okay, so, oopsie, what have I done now? I'm busy yapping on, and I'm literally about to lose a stitch already. We haven't even got very far. So where was I? This is a really, gosh, if you're new here, you must be like, what is this woman? So disorganized. Okay, so I talked about this finished object. What do I want to do next? I talked about what I'm wearing. Let me talk about what I'm knitting. I know I'm bumping around a little bit, but this is a good segue, in fact. So I'm talking, what am I making? Anybody recognize this? I fell in love with the Ashburn. It's a pattern, it's a shawl pattern by Melanie Berg. I think it would be Berg or Berg, but she's German, so it might be Berg. Anyway, Melanie. And it's so delightful, this pattern. And I did talk about it in a previous episode that I was going to make it. And guess what? This is the third one I'm making. So this is what I'm working on while we chat. I'm knitting this in African Expressions Soul. It's a kind of a fingering weight yarn. I know it has a little bit of nylon in it or polyamide or something, but it's also got, I think it's got other fun things. I'll put a little thing there to tell you what it has inside it. It's a lovely yarn. It's got excellent drape. It's very soft, very affordable. And I had some in stash that I bought earlier this year at the Arthur Bale's big sale. They have a wonderful sale every year or even twice a year, definitely at least once a year. And that's usually where I go to buy a couple of things that I then keep around. And the first one I made has already gone to its owner. These are all gift knits. None of them are for me just yet, but I will still make one for myself. The first one I made was for a dear friend of mine, and she has it and she loves it. And there's a little picture of it. I'm wearing it there. It was so pleasurable that while I was making, I thought, I could make one for. So I made another one. This one I made for my mom-in-law. My partner's going to see his family in Europe shortly. I'm not going with him because I thought, no thank you to a European winter. No thank you. I'll stay in warm South Africa, and I'll see you guys next year in summer. So we have plans to see everybody in summer with the kids. But he's going, and I decided to make my mom-in-law a little scarf. I mean, so look how sweet this thing is with a little, and what I love about this is you can really customize. So the first image I showed you is a bit more faithful to the pattern, the original pattern. But, you know, once you get a vibe, you can sort of, so with this one for my mom-in-law, I sort of used up old things, and I kept thinking, what are her colors? And asking my partner, what do you think your mom's colors? And we agreed, like, these are all her colors, this kind of orange, the brown, the green, the white, not bad. The blue is just like a little love letter from me because I'm knitting the blues. I didn't use too much of it because I think that's not quite her thing. But how delightful is that? I really hope she likes it, by the way. Sorry if it's gonna bother the mic. I won't talk while I do this. I kept saying, I hope she likes it. I mean, I think she will. She's got very quirky, eclectic taste. And the reason I mean, from what she wears, but mostly from what she's given me as gifts over the years, I've always been like, oh, wow, that's quite, you know, I'm very impressed with her sense of taste and kind of fashion, for want of a better word. And so I hope she likes it. And my partner was like, no, they're always going on walks, him and, you know, she and her husband. And, you know, this is the kind of thing she could throw on. What's nice about this, just to tell you what I used. So I used, there's some alpaca. The brown was me holding alpaca lace double. Then the bluey, purpley, and this is actually a very pale pink. Those two yarns I got at a store called the Craft Academy when it was still at the Prison Break Market, which is up the road from me. And I don't even know, Alison, who owns that store, she always like has stuff and you're just like, it's always like no label. Like, Alison, what is this? So I don't even remember what she told me, but I think it has some silk in it. And so quite a light yarn. This is 100% merino from my new stash. I will tell you more about that. Somebody very generously gave me quite a lot of yarn. And then this at the bottom here is, I think it's Celine Dion. It's Cowgirl Blues, and it's their linen blend. So it's got maybe cotton, maybe merino. I'll put a little note about it. And I've had that for a while, and I think now I'm finished that. And then, oh yeah, and this is similar blend from Knotty Habit. Their linen viscose. I love this thing so much. Oh, I love this thing. And I had a bunch of it. I used it to make, some cardigans, and I had a bunch left, and now I don't have any left. So this is also an excellent project for stash busting. But it's a great project for gifts. You know, I haven't sort of done a special episode about gifts, and I know there are lots of episodes running around about gifts. The Ashburn, people, the Ashburn. It's, I knit it in a week. It's easy enough because you're just knitting back and forth all the time. So it's that beautiful, what do you call this now? It's that beautiful, oh goodness, why have I gone blank? But you know what I mean. This, it's that beautiful, this bit here. And then it's the slip stitches place. And then this bit is a little rough because you're constantly slipping stitches. So I find it hard on the hands, but it's always just a portion of the whole scarf. Garter. Everything else is garter. Anyway, I've talked enough about this. Let's see how it goes when it gets delivered in December. I hope she likes it. And then I'm knitting another one for a friend of mine that I'm going to see in December as well. And I just thought, let me make something for her. And I thought, let me show you what the colors are. I'm keeping all of this in this project bag. And if you know me, you know that my project bags are always the bags I get at conferences. And so I recently went to a writing festival. I was a guest at a writing festival. And we, in turn, all the writers were the guests of one of the embassies, the Colombian embassy in Kenya. And they gave everybody this bag along with, and I might actually have the book here, along with a copy, excuse me, whoa, everywhere today, along with a copy of this book by Gabriel Garcia Marquez, The Autumn of the Patriarch. And this is an incredible writer, in case you don't know. Find all his books and read all of them, including this one. But my favorite of his, so a lot of people's favorite of Marquez would be 100 Years of Solitude, which is obviously brilliant. But my favorite is the little skinny book called Chronicles of a Death Foretold. That's my favorite of his. Anyway, enough on that. Where was I? Yes, so they gave us this bag. And of course, the minute I saw it, I was like, project bag. And this one is nice because normally my conference bags don't have, they don't gonna put a zip on it. It's just the normal, like here. And this is, again, conference bag. Again, literature festival. Hello. And this one is a beloved festival in the Western Cape called the Franschhoek Literary Festival. So really, I'm not lying when I say that's what I use. But this one has a little drawstring, and it's obviously beautiful fabric, and it's beautifully made, and it's sweet, and it's nice for like a sock project or something like the Ashburn, which is quite a small project that you can move around with. And so what am I doing? So what are the three? I'm going to use just 3 yarns, just 3 colors this time, and no changing yarn. And the 3 colors, so what I end up using, is I use these 3. And I'll use them in this order as well. And that would be for a friend of mine that I'm going to see. And then eventually I need to make myself one. So I'm definitely going to I still have to make another one. And I think I'm going to make a lot of these. I've found my pattern. And yeah, it's been a challenging couple of days for different reasons, just sometimes you just feel kind of blue. This is knitting the blues, right? And sometimes there's a tinge of blue to the mood. And I just kept coming back to this pattern to make another thing. And it was also comforting to make it for someone. I don't know, it just felt like keeping someone close in my thoughts as I knitted and thinking of them. And the whole thing of trying to find the right color for that person and thinking, do I have anything in my stash that would be their color? So anyway, so that's what I'm working on. And those are my finished objects. I think that's it. So that was that. Oh, another little funny story. Again, in my very first episode ever on this podcast, I called it Knitting It Twice. And I talked about this idea of, making something more than once. And sometimes the first time you make it, there are a few mistakes, and then you work on the mistakes, or there are no mistakes, but you realize, maybe if I'm not too faithful to the pattern, it'll fit me better, or it will suit my taste better. And then you tweak it. And one of the projects I talked about was the beautiful pattern by Veronica Lindberg or Kutovakika called Salty Days, the Salty Days sweater, very beautiful sweater. And I made it the first time, and the sleeves are too tight. The whole thing was too tight. To be honest, that sweater is now belongs to my niece because it fit her so much better. So she has it. And she's so sweet. The other day she said to me, Auntie Yewande, it's my favorite sweater. And she said it's scratchy, but it's my favorite sweater. I mean, it's made out of like African expressions. It's what is they call that now? Oh goodness, now I'm going to forget. The harmony yarn, and it's superwash, and it's fairly soft. But I understand, like if one doesn't wear that fabric all the time, it's still, even superwash feels a certain way. But she said she loves it, and that just swelled my heart. Anyway, so I gave that to her, and I made myself another one. And I made myself this. I used this, the Knotty Habit linen viscose blend, and I held it double. And I held it, so it was this ecru color with a pink. It's called Sable on the website. And I saw it on the website, and I just didn't realize how pink it would be. And I don't really wear pink. Definitely not that pale pink. It doesn't do anything for me. I'll try and put a B-roll of me wearing what color this was originally. And and the issue is I would never wear it. I just would never reach for it so I decided to dye it, to over dye it. And I had some black dye that I'd bought from Arthur Aron. And I actually made a little video of me dyeing it, so maybe I'll slip it in now. So have a look first what I did. So I definitely wanted it to be a fairly regular color, but it didn't come out that way. And I guess I'm learning to dye. There must have been things I did wrong, why the dye didn't take evenly over the fabric, but it didn't. But I don't mind it. So this is how it came out. I don't mind it. And how I know I don't mind it is I've worn this a ton since I dyed it. I've probably worn it more in the last, whatever it's been, 3 weeks since I dyed it, than the several months before that I owned it and it was in the other color. And I love the pattern so much that it hurt me that I wasn't wearing it. So there you go. So that's a kind of a finished object-y kind of in terms of re-dyeing. All right. Now, what else did I want to talk about? I wanted to talk about works in progress. So here is one work in progress. Okay, this is not really a knit and chat because I'm having to show you things and so I'm not able to knit, but that's okay. So works in progress. This is not works in progress. This is yet to be put on needles, but I know what, but I'm making the cozy, the classic cozy raglan by Jessie Maid Designs. I'm going to do the cuffs in this beautiful dark color and then the body in these. And I'm going to do kind of helical knitting because these are not quite, as you can see, the same color, but they're cousins. And I'm looking forward to this sweater. I think it'll be wonderful. And I just haven't, I had this whole attempt a few episodes back to like, oh, I'm going to have lots of projects on the needles. Nope, I'm not sophisticated enough for that. So I'm going to actually do that in the new year. Maybe it'll be my New Year's Day cast on or something like that, just when I'm on holiday and relaxed. And also I bought the pattern and I looked at the pattern. I'm sure she's amazing, but it was just like, okay, this takes thought. So I don't have the bandwidth right now. Let me go on holiday and have some clear head and then I will, what's in here? Sorry, it's going to crinkle. This is again plans. This is what I think I'm going to make my Ashburn out of. I think I'll make it out of 2 colors. So it'll just be those 2, I think. And then that'll be my Ashburn. So the Ashburn kind of takes 3 skeins of yarn, just so you know. So that's, okay, I thought I had, yes, I cast on another classic silk open cardi with this actually, but it wasn't working out. So I unraveled it. So I was wondering, why do I have one less work in progress? So that's no longer a work in progress. And I've been trying to plan another silk open cardi. I even thought I could make it out of this. Absolutely gorgeous. This is part of the stash I've been given. I know I'm sort of hinting at this. I've done a whole video on it, so I don't want to talk about it at all because I've done a whole little video on these gifts that I received. But this is one of them. And I mean, how is that for you? For me, it's just regal. And I thought, oh, what if I made a classic silk open cardi? Because I want, again, this is just for like timeless pieces that can go with everything that I can throw on. But I don't know if it's the right gauge and I haven't managed to gauge swatch and so on and so on. So this is sitting, that's kind of why it's kind of sitting here because it's just, I'll get to it. But the last work in progress, which is in my big bag, that was a gift from a friend of mine, is my Zucchini dress. So finally, and I'm making a blog about the dress. But it's taking me time because I'm not always, I'm not knitting on it exclusively. And when I find the time to do a video, but what can I show you? It's all over the place. Okay, so I've just started, right? And because it's going to be roly-poly and kind of weird, but this is the back, the top back, basically, that you then put on hold. And I've started the top front. And eventually you're going to join everything. I know that it doesn't look very exciting, right? But it's just nice to know, I cast on, because I've been talking about this all year. And I finally cast on. I'm knitting it with, so see if I have it, yeah. I'm knitting it with this beautiful, I'll tell you about the yarn in 2 seconds. It's double knit. It's just this beautiful, and these colors work for me. And it's a dress. It's going to be very easy to wear and go with everything. And this yarn, what is it? It is Fibra Natura Papyrus. And it is, when you start doing that, The time has come. It's 77% cotton, 23% silk. It's very nice. The color, let's see what the color is. Ooh, I can't see. Yeah, ooh, guys, the time has come. Yewande needs. Okay, I don't think they have the color here, but the time has come. You know, the reason I'm saying that is I wear glasses anyway. I have contact lenses in at the moment, and my optician, when I last saw them, said, oh, you know, let me know if you start straining and you need reading glasses. I'm like, oh, I'm fine. It's very likely very soon I'm going to need reading glasses. Anyway, it's this beautiful, it's silver gray, if I remember correctly. It's this beautiful silver gray color. And it's actually got, it's not, you know, it's got a little bit of funniness going in the color. It's not just by itself. Very soft, quite light, and I'm excited. So yeah, those are my works in progress. Okay, let's start wrapping this up. As I said, it's not going to be a long video. Let's start wrapping this up. The last thing I wanted to say is that I plan to, I've decided to do a live stream, which is just ridiculous because I just know, like, I've always thought live stream, no ways, that's insane. But I just, you know how you just stumble on something and think, oh, maybe I'll do a live stream. And I got this idea. So this is kind of an informal invitation to the live stream. I will do a little short to advertise the live stream, the live stream. So look out for that. But this is for those of you, you know, in the circle. This is an informal invitation to say, look out for a live stream. I'm going to do it on a Saturday night, South Africa time. So because it's Saturday, I hope it means that if you are based in America, I seem to have a lot of people based in America that find my videos, and I'm so grateful. Thank you for that. So if you are based in America and would like to be on the live stream, I hope it means that you can join because it's Saturday night. It's Saturday, 8 p.m. I'm just checking now so that I tell you the right. But again, it's an informal invite. I will post a short on my channel in the next short while about the live stream. But it will be on, I think it's going to be on December the 13th, the Saturday, 8 p.m. South Africa time. I'll do a live stream. Now, what's it all going to be about? Because, yeah, we need a little bit of a theme, I think. So what I decided, why am I throwing my phone? I need it again. Anybody remember a New York Times article that came out about a piece of research that was done? If I'm remembering correctly, I'll put a link to it. To be fair, the link is behind a paywall. I have at times had a membership to New York Times and at times not all the times. How many times can you say times? Anyway, I don't have a membership right now, so I couldn't go back into the article. But so I might misremember a few things. But I know there was this New York Times article. It's a paywall, but I'll put a link in case anybody watching has a membership or anybody watching wants to get a membership in order to read the article. You can find it in other places as well. You can find the information about this in other places as well. It's the 36 questions that lead to love. Have you ever heard of that? So there's an essay by Mandy Len Catron, and it's called To Fall in Love with Anyone, Do This. So I think the original author of the questions is someone called Arthur Aron. I will put a little bit more information here because I'm struggling to find the link, and because I'm not getting onto the paywall with New York Times, I'm not able to just make sure I'm giving you the correct information for the origins of this. But basically, the idea I had for the live stream is that we can go through the 36 questions together. So I will go through those questions. I will read them. The whole idea of the questions. So for my memory of this article is that they were looking for ways to have people, it wasn't romantic love. It was about almost filial, like friendship and how to connect and gain in intimacy with perfect strangers. And so there was these questions designed. And one of the test cases was like to use it with students coming from all over, in this case, America, coming to their first, as they would say, freshman year. And how do you start to connect with people? And the idea is that the questions are progressively more and more intimate and deep. And they start, fairly simply, and then they come in 3 sets. And each set, moves you deeper and deeper into more deeply philosophical, personal, and intimate questions. So I thought it would be fun. We could start at question 1, and there are obviously 36. We might not, I don't know how long it would take. So maybe we get through all 36, or maybe we get through a few in an hour, and then we do another episode, another live stream with the rest. I will answer the questions, and I would invite you in the chat to answer the questions. And we go from there. I don't know. It just came to me, and I thought that might be fun. Let me give you a sense of what the questions are like. So the very first question. And by the way, I'm not going to prepare ahead. Obviously, I remember some of the questions, but I've deliberately not gone back to the questions recently to check and prepare. Let's have it be quite spontaneous. So that's also a little bit scary, and it's live stream. So it's going to be it's going to be like, we're on a date. But so the first question says, given the choice of anyone in the world, whom would you want as a dinner guest? Okay. I'm going to jump to question 19. If you knew that in 1 year you would die suddenly, would you change anything about the way you are living now, and why? That's from the second set. Let's go to the third set. I will pick question 30. When did you last cry in front of another person? And when did you last cry by yourself? That's quite intimate. That's quite personal, right? Ooh, okay, so I don't know what I'm getting myself into, but I just thought it would be a good idea. Maybe we would just do the first set. I'm backtracking now. Anyway, yeah, we'll be fine. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. Okay, we're adults, and we'll be fine. But I just think there's something, I'm somebody who's as a writer, I'm obviously very interested in how we connect to others. And when people connect, what is it that makes them connect? And when people don't, what is it that's in the way? I'm kind of layperson interest in our psychologies. And, I've read up, again, as a layperson on, some of my favorite books are written by psychologists and are about what connects us and what keeps us apart. And I think in a lot of my writing, I'm fascinated by connection and lack of connection, intimacy and lack of intimacy, joy, and of course, the absence of joy. So this is kind of right up my alley in general, those questions. And then I just thought it'd be interesting to bring it into my yarny life and see what happens. So I don't know, if you think that's a great idea, please just note the date. Come on board. I would open the question up to anybody who's there, and I would invite you to write in the chat, and I'd be reading out answers live in the chat. And maybe we get to have a fairly interesting, different kind of Saturday night, or Saturday day if you're joining from somewhere where it's not the night. So I wanted to end today's episode with the informal invitation to my very first live stream. And it's 36 questions to fall in love. A little weird, a little quirky, but very much me. I'm weird. I'm very quirky. So it's very much me. And, good people, that's really all I had for today. Feel free to write in the comments if you were working on something as you were watching and what that was. If you've knit this is a very popular pattern in Ravelry, just by the way. So if you've knit this, please let me know. I'm saying this, the Ashburn. It's got like 3,000 projects or something. Her stuff is exquisite. Melanie. her stuff is pretty exquisite. I looked at some of her other patterns and the other shawls. I thought, oh my God, I actually put it away because I thought if I start looking here, I'll just be in trouble. Let me just stick with the Ashburn for now. But I'm not a shawl person, but she's changed me into a shawl person because I just thought, wow, I'm going to have to make that. Oh my God, I'm going to have to make that. And then she has very interesting garments as well. I love her style. There's something about her style that really appeals to me. So yeah, if you've made any Ashburns, let me know. If you are also, I feel like it's witchcraft, the Ashburn, because you make the Ashburn and you're making, oh, this is nice. And as you start getting to the end of the Ashburn, this thought, like witchcraft, pops up in your head like, oh, I should probably make another. It's like, I'm like, how is it that I'm making my third in 3 weeks? How? And I haven't even touched the emotional support chicken I promised my kids. Naughty mama. No, but I've decided I will make that when I'm on a holiday. My sons, they keep me in check, my son. So my son was like, you haven't made our chicken. So, and I said, no, I've decided the three of us will go on holiday together, me and the boys. And so I said, no, I'm going to make it when I'm on holiday with you guys. And it'll be fun because you can I'm going to make it very eclectic. I'm going to use lots of old stash and make it very colorful. And so I'll pull colors and they can help me choose and they can watch me make a wing. And, I don't know if I'm being naive. I might not have a second of chance to do that while I'm with them, but that I decided I'll do that on holiday. After promising to make all these cast-ons, I just realized I don't really have the life for it. I'm quite busy. I don't have the headspace. So I ended up a portion. I was like, okay, I'll do that in the new year. Okay, I'll do that when I'm on holiday. But I certainly was able to do 3 Ashburns. So I don't know. I don't know what that's about. Anyway, good people, thank you so much. Just thanks for hanging out. Thanks for being here, listening. It's a special space for me. Yeah, it's a special space for me. This I flounder often, and I question myself a lot, and I wonder, and I think, what am I doing, and why, and what's the point? And yet I keep coming back because it's just such a nurturing. It's such a nurturing activity for me to come and speak in this way and engage and to talk about yarn, which is I just don't. As a writer, I have a lot of writerly friends and writerly spaces, but this is sort of left of center, and this is a little space I guess I've carved out to I don't know, indulge this side of me. So thank you for helping me make this space and make it a real thing. And I don't take it for granted. So many people comment and are kind and warm and are supportive. And I'm always deeply, deeply grateful. Thank you so much. I wish you well. I hope you have an excellent, crafty weekend ahead. And yeah, hey, listen out for the live stream information. And yeah, come along. Put it in your calendars. Let's make it a date. I don't know how it's going to go, but it just sounds like fun. So I'm going to go for it. But till then, happy knitting or crocheting or making. Take care and see you soon. Ciao.